before the colors of the phoenix rising out of the flames. Yeah. So I'm going to read a poem that I read at the Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center at their 2014 Speak Out about a year and a half ago, which was one of the markers of one of the phases of the transition I've been in for a long time. Her lotus feet have trudged this planet for eons. That golden skin was mined in the black earth. Her feet, though limping, are the lotus feet of she who survives. A shining, forgotten deity, returning. And there are millions like her, millions like us, multicolored, limping goddesses, returning to lay down our cargo and reclaim ourselves. So I read that in 2014, going on stage in college. The first time I spoke at one of the Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center speak outs was 2 weeks after my freshman year boyfriend had said he was going to murder me. And I showed up not knowing what it was. I just saw a poster that said it's a place for survivors of violence to come speak. And I thought, oh cool, I'll be going and hearing people's stories. And then I go and it's a room of like 200 people, and basically there's a microphone and they open with a prayer and they say it's open. And it was really, really, really quiet. It was so quiet and so awkward. And after sitting there for about 2 minutes in silence, I was like, okay, I guess I'm the first one to speak. So I went up there and I shared my story, and it was so fresh and so raw and so real then. I chose that year, freshman year, to start to alchemize that pain. Because that was the second month of college that happened, with someone I'd been dating about 6 months. The first weekend of college, a man that I had had a one-night stand with sent one of his friends to my hotel room to rape me after my brother's wedding, because they knew that I'd been drinking and that I'd be easy to take advantage of. The next weekend, I was at one of my best friend's houses, and a guy followed me outside while I was talking on the phone to my boyfriend, and he said, I'm going to take you into the alley and do what I want with you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So he was dragging me through the alley. I had gravel coming up my legs. I was bleeding. And my friend heard me yelling, and she stepped in. And her courage in that moment, as a proactive bystander and a witness, is actually what saved me from further harm. So I told my boyfriend about that, and it was a few weeks later that he was mad at the way I'd acted at a bar, and he decided to tell me it was time to end my life. And I know it's really intense, this is heavy, but it's a story of a phoenix rising, and that's why I'm here, okay? So there is a happy ending, not in a weird way. Maybe in a weird way too. But, so that was the first 6 weeks of college, and I had grown up in Wyandotte, downriver, with a family from Southwest Detroit, the top of my class president, MVP of all the sports teams, ready to go to U of M and create a better world. So to land and have all that happen the first 6 weeks was so devastating. I couldn't believe that the leaders in Best was that. That's what I showed up for. That's what I had worked so hard for 18 years to escape into. It was so disappointing. But thank God there was the Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center. And that's an amazing organization at University of Michigan that trains women and men in different healing modalities. You can choose your level of participation, and I chose to become certified as a peer educator. So I did thousands of workshops. Well, no, I wish I had done thousands of workshops. I did dozens of workshops for thousands of people. In the first year I got involved, we received an award for outstanding impact on the campus. I personally was nominated to serve as a liaison for the Division of Student Affairs, and kind of be like a point person for sharing about what campus life was like. At that time too, I chose to become a sexual health advocate at our dorm. So people would come to me with not their traumas, but their everything. Because in my opinion, one of the reasons why there is so much sexual assault and why there is so much shadow around it is because we're not taught how to have a healthy sexuality at all. we're taught to repress the very thing that we are born of. And it creates such deep levels of self-hatred and self-loathing that no one knows what to do with it sometimes besides act it out in a violent way, you know? And that's part of my story and my purpose, is to reclaim not only my sexuality, but the beauty of sexuality and creativity on behalf of our entire world. All of us here, believe it or not, are born of orgasm.
That's nice.
I know. Let's talk afterwards. Okay. So I did all these workshops in college, teaching about healthy relationships, about empathy, very basic things, and I got to bear witness to lots and lots and lots of young people who had never had these conversations coming up to me and me being the person they came to talk to about it. It was a deep honor and a privilege. I also got to hear people's stories of trauma that they had never told anyone, because finally we created a space. And a lot of people shared things with me that they had never shared. The Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center has counselors. They have a lot of great things they do that connects people to a community of resources to help them come back into themselves if they're going through pain. And so I did that work, and then after college, I wrote an essay. I entered a contest in Red Book magazine to, I wrote an essay about why it's important to start teaching empathy and healthy relationships in public schools. Because frankly, I was pissed that I came to college and I had learned calculus, but not how to ask for permission to touch someone's body. It seemed like, why am I learning about this when this other thing is so much more important to everything that's happening all the time in daily life? So my essay won, and I was nominated as the state lead for their campaign to teach public activism campaigns on teaching healthy relationships in public schools. So I did that for a couple of years. Fast forward, got cracked open in an entirely new way when I chose to become pregnant. I chose to become pregnant 6 years ago when my mom was diagnosed with cancer and was told that she'd have a few months to live. I jumped into having a baby because I thought at least she'll die knowing that like the lineage had continued. And miracle of miracles, she's still alive in this moment. And she credits my daughter's birth as being the reason that gave her hope enough to live again. So she's still alive, and yeah. So I got pregnant. Pregnancy cracked me open to a whole new layer of divinity, because I suddenly understood that it was so much more than me and so much more happening beyond my control, right? So in the past several years, my work has shifted not as much to talking about what's wrong. It's less in that place of anger about what's wrong and what we missed out on and what needs to change. And it's more in a place of like what can be created from here and what's beautiful about sex and sexuality. What's beautiful about owning your authentic power and embodying it in a way that has no shame, no guilt, no regrets, no remorse. And that's the message that I like to share now with other people. It feels really good to me. Thank you very much. So I will announce that after I was interviewed by Cal a month ago, it's been a really cool, swift-moving journey of reclamation and synchronicity. And what I'm doing as part of this moment is to, I'm collecting essays for an anthology that's going to be published by Pebble Press, which is a division of Hay House, on people's stories of overcoming obstacles and being in their authentic self and their authentic power. So if you're interested in that, come up to me afterwards. And since I only had 30 seconds, I'll close with my writing I wanted to share, which is, one, I'm very grateful for my teachers and friends that are here to support me, and I want to quote two of them. I'm going to quote Barbara White, who said a couple months ago to me, "Your soul is bigger than your circumstances." And that's a really beautiful message that helped. And I want to quote another teacher, Master Sang Kim, who says that truth is inherently healing. And when I heard that a year ago, it really shifted a lot in my world and allowed me to reclaim parts of my own truth. So I'll end with saying that love is a balm that heals all wounds. Miracles are possible. Expect them. And that we rise together. Thank you.